Hello, welcome to Career Talk on Ogun State Television. On Career Talk, we discuss with different people, resource people. They come here and tell us about their career. They try to convince you, encourage you, and inspire you on which career path to follow. Today we'll be delving into the hospitality sector. What is it all about? We'll be discussing this with Mr. Godfrey Abel. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today, Mr. Godfrey.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning, your academic background.
Okay, so let me just start from, I'm a graduate of Hospitality Management and Technology, Federal Polytechnic Ida.
Wow.
And okay, so my study wasn't just picked. I was already in the hospitality industry 5-6 years before I decided to take that study. So I needed something to boost the study very well. And then I said, okay, let me just have that program immediately. And I'm done with it. And then I'm still on another study that has to do with a Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply Chain UK. So,
What does that mean?
so if you are in supply chain management, it's the body that you have to join to, boost your experience and then, boost your, let's say, your awareness into the hospitality industry globally. So the CIP UK is another body that convinced a lot of people that, okay, so if you're a member of this, that means you're really on this career path.
Thank you. So what does it mean when you talk about the hospitality sector? What does it encompass? What does it entail?
Okay, so when you talk about hospitality, and it entails the services, the business services of taking care of people. And of course, so in your line of hospitality business you have chosen, you have to make sure that, okay, what do I want to do? So I can start from the least part of the hospitality industry, which has to do with food business. So in the food business, it has different way. So the cooked food, the packaging, the raw food, and the grocery shop, they are all into hospitality business. So which one are you starting with?
So it's not just about the hotel business.
No, it's not just about hotel business. So it's way more than that. In a layman understanding, hospitality is hotel. But it goes beyond that. And I keep telling everybody around me, so I have a business plan that it is while we are very, very far away from that hotel and all of that. So each time I talk about it, and the people say, is this part of hospitality business? So truly, hospitality business gives you a lot of opportunity you don't know. The snacks bar you see, the pastry upgraded shops, the coffee shops, they are all hospitality business.
Wow. So how did it all start? Why did you choose this career path?
Okay, so it is very interesting. See, I love dealing with people so much. And I discovered that, okay, so I enjoy doing this. Why I enjoy doing this, I just found out that, okay, I think I'm actually doing this very well. So along my career journey, it has actually been a very successful movement so far. So I told myself that I have to take this. Though presently, I'm working with a food manufacturing company. And of course, it has little on me concerning my experience. So that's where the supply chain came in.
Okay, then. So what are your responsibilities? What do? You said you like taking care of people, you love dealing with people. Tell us what it entails as a person in your career field. What do you do?
Okay, so two things. Okay, so as someone who is in hospitality business, so first of all, what I do is presently I now consult. I partner and I consult. Okay. So if you want to go into hospitality business and you have to come to me, I'll guide you. And doing that, I also learn one or two things, and I also get one or two things. Sometimes I get paid.
Sometimes?
Yes.
Other times? What happens other times?
Other times, although I get paid, but not immediately. So
that means you get paid all the time?
Yes, I get paid all the time. So, when you have to tell someone to start a business and how you start a business, and the person may not put you as part of the budget. He has started the business, and the thing is doing well. And all of a sudden, he just said, okay, thank you for this thing. If not for you, I wouldn't have taken in this direction. I wouldn't have tried this. So like that. So once I don't actually call that a pay. I can't call that a pay because if I can call it a pay unless I charge you. So that's how it looks like. So for me, this is how we started. And then it has been an interesting thing that I cannot take my head off it. So presently where I am right now, I'm also a member of the canteen committee in the canteen factory. So I take care of the food and the feeding of the manufacturing company there.
Okay, so when we talk about hospitality business, you just enlightened us now that it is not only about hotel business. So tell us about the areas of specialization in the hospitality sector.
Okay, so it's the food area. So I'm a site chef.
Okay.
So when I tell someone I'm a site chef, so it's not something that is common in this part of the world. So, but then even as much as you see someone who is a site chef, you don't get to understand that that person is a site chef. You might end up still calling the person a chef.
Okay, so what's the difference between a chef and a side chef?
So a chef is someone who takes care of the entire cooking section of a particular company. So you design the menu, you set up the recipe, you set up all the idea and the innovations, you're the chef or the head chef. So the side chef is one of the chefs there who is under the main chef who does the particular job. So for the side chef, you have to take care of all the side dish that comes along with every other food. So you have someone who prepares sauce, you have someone who does the main dish, you have someone who does the local dish, and then you have someone who does the side chef. So the side chef mainly just do the plating, decorations, the preparing some other food that has to go with the main food. So I have to do some of the fries. I have to do mostly breakfast. I have to do mostly cold dishes. So these are the function of just the side chef. So I do that mostly and I do it very well. So, and again, it was part of me when I started managing a restaurant. That was when I was in Warri.
Okay, so now for someone who is listening
Yeah.
and would love to go into the hospitality sector, how should the person go about it? Academically, training, skill acquisition?
Okay, so good one. So first of all, you need to identify what are your strengths. What do you love to do? If you're someone who can't get close to people, who can't manage people and their temperament, you cannot be able to take care of people. So you might just stay behind. Like someone who wants to stay behind and just do a laundry business and you don't get to see people always. But of course, you get to see people, but you don't get to see people always. So first of all, identify your potentials. What are you good at? Because in the hospitality industry, you see the tech guys work there. You see the chef work there. You see the maintenance guys work there. So first of all, how do you want to come in? What do you have to make this organization work very well? So when you identify your potentials, and then you could begin to say, okay, so I want to offer services to these guys through this area. So you might be someone who, what you do is you bake. So all the pastry of the business, you're handling it. So you could decide to now say, okay, let me start with going to a culinary school or learning the pastry and all of that. So you go straight in that area. So with little or no education, as long as you're someone who could read and understand, so you could actually look at this area. So, okay, so I know I can bake very well. So you start developing yourself in different pastry making. And so when you do that, for a start, you might actually be working. And then one way or the other, if you want to take another dimension, you could just set up your own business for yourself if you understand what the pastry business is all about. So that's the reason why you have to go to the culinary school, to go learn how to manage what you know how to do.
Interesting. So the sector, the part in which you're interested in will determine the kind of trainings you go for.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much. But right now, we have to go on a break. Let's listen to the young minds. Tell us what they would like to be in the future. Media dreams come true. We'll be right back.
To become a teacher because I like the way teacher impart knowledge in the life of a student. Thanks.
I want to be a medical doctor so I can treat people.
Thank you for staying with us on Career Talk. It is still Ogun State Television, and I'm discussing hospitality sector with Mr. Godfrey Abel. So, Mr. Godfrey, we have talked about what it means, how to go about being a chef, a side chef, a baker, and different aspects in the hospitality sector. So now let's talk about the challenges, so that the young minds can have in mind that all that glitters is not gold.
Yeah, true.
When going into that career path, they should expect certain challenges. So what are the challenges that you faced?
Okay, so one of the challenges I face is having this normal life everybody have for yourself. So it's not going to be a normal life for you anymore, because your life will be controlled by the business of you have chosen. So when I say that is, hospitality business is something that has to do with operating 24 hours, unless you're doing unless you're in a sector that doesn't have to connect with the hotel. The hotel works 24 hours. Now, first of all, even the restaurant and sometimes the lounge and the clubhouse, you see them work like late at night. So if you are someone who is looking at this direction, just know that you're not going to live a normal life anymore. So you're going to live on, how do I even say it? Okay, so if you're this person who you're comfortable with your sleep, you have a 6-hour, 8-hour sleep, you can't have that anymore. And if you're someone who always, you go to bed at times, at your own time, it will no longer be at your own time. So it's actually going to be when your business is closed, or when you're taking a shift, or then sometimes when the whole house is full or you have an event, you don't get to sleep. 2 days you're not sleeping. So because there was part of an event I joined, and we have to take care of almost like 50 people for a week. We don't get to sleep. 4 days, don't get to sleep. So you know what you're doing. So it's not going to be a normal life. So you have to be ready that you're not going to live a normal life like every other person.
So what are the other challenges aside the provision of sleep?
Another challenge is the one that has to do with patience. Patience. Hospitality business is slow. Slow. It's not the kind of business you do and then it's a business that doesn't go off, but it is very, very slow, especially for someone who is just starting it. You don't expect to see magic. Sometimes where you begin to make wave in your hospitality business is when you have built a name and a brand for yourself. That's how you start working. So, but as someone who is starting, please be patient. It will not come immediately. So this is the reason why sometimes I see people start up this business, along the way, the business go off. You don't expect it immediately. Hospitality, you have to be patient. You're not the one starting first. Of course, what you're starting, also new about your own. Be patient, study it, take your time, grow it, and then before you know, you're making a brand for yourself. That's how it works. These 2 challenges is enough. If you can be able to fight it a little bit, you could stay in the hospitality business. Okay,
so apart from academic certifications, are there skills and talents that are required for someone to have, for the person to be able to excel very well in your career path?
Yeah, so if apart from the study I had, you have, like I said, if you pick one area of specialty, you have to go build more experience in it. There are hospitality schools in Nigeria that I know very well will give you the best experience you're looking for. So sometimes you pick the direction. So if you want to do an accounting in hospitality business, you can find it. If you want to do a hospitality business management, so you have to be at executive level to manage the affair of the hospitality, it's still another thing. So if you want to like be a chef, so what you do is you're a head chef, because that's another top role in the management. So a head chef is part of the management, it's the top role to make decisions that has to do with the food and the beverages. So that's another area. So if you have chosen this area, please find a way to go learn it more. It's like more or less like a professional course, a few month professional course.
Okay, so what do you enjoy about your profession? What's the biggest motivation?
Okay, so the joy when you see people being satisfied of the service you've given.
Wow, I like that.
That's an interesting part.
Well, I like that. So now it's a culture in the program. You get to share an experience with us during the course of your career. It could be a good one or a bad one. You make your pick.
Okay, so I will take you back to 2017 when I was in Delta State, Warri. So usually, we always have this function where you have some organization come take up the entire hotel space and the hotel room. So once they do that, you have to make sure that everything is intact. Your room, your lights, your water, your food, everything. So you're cooking all around. Your laundry guys are washing all around, and you make sure that each time you're changing your linens, you have to make them available again, replace them. So one of the challenges you have that it's very difficult for you to have in normal life. So you could see people at a very difficult way to control. Now, when I say difficult way, so you see some of your staff because of the nature of the pressure, you may see them losing out. You may see them not being in a very good condition responding to you. And then you might see customers not being too happy, especially the people who came for the event. That period, you don't get to sleep. 1 week of your life has been shut down doing business.
I'm talking about your personal experience now.
Now, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm coming there. So me as the person managing the whole team, so if the staff life has to be like this, how will my life be like? So it was a very big challenge for me sometimes. It is not a normal day. It's not a normal time for me. In as much as I see people I take care of, I have to have this energy to transfer to them. So when that kind of situation comes, the only thing that makes me or revive my energy again is that at the end of the event, if I see them leaving and they are smiling and then giving me my review, I have my energy back. But trust me, it's never a funny moment.
Thank you for sharing that thought with us. Okay, now let's talk about the parent and then choosing career option for their children or their words. So what's your take on that? And I would like for you to pitch your career to parents.
Okay, so the truth is, if you keep mentioning career, it looks like it's a big thing.
Okay.
So I would want to say career is occupation, job, what you do. So I may put it this way. So what do you say to a parent who want to pick a job for the children, who want to pick an occupation for the children? See, of course, you agree with me that we are losing our parenting right now. So a lot of people don't do the parenting anymore. So they just allow their money work for them. And that way you don't get to see your child's potential closely. You know, when you spend time with your kids, you understand what this child is capable of doing, even when the child is even 4 years old. So, but we don't do that anymore. As your child starts growing up, you're sending your child away. You're allowing your money to do your job for you. And you're allowing somebody to detect what your child can do. And you can't see it. So the only advice I could give for parents is that sometimes when your child is growing up, please pay attention. You can actually, from the early age, start discovering what the child is capable of doing. That way, you could be able to, understand with the child when he starts picking up what he or she wants to do.
Okay, so what about the young ones? What's your advice for them? How would you want them to follow their mind when it comes to choosing a career path?
Okay, so first of all, I want to say this. Sometimes it is not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have and you don't know how to use them. Those are the things that limit you. Right? So as a young person, please, before you start looking at somewhere else, away from where you're staying, make sure you have checked around you and then you have seen a lot of things or probably one or two you can take up opportunity of. So the truth is that some of us tend to look at something like this, but not knowing that there are some things around us that we could actually use very well. And then it's like a step to going to where we're looking at. So I will always advise these young people out there, please look around you. First of all, take opportunity of what is close to you. And then when you build it very well, it will open door for a bigger opportunity you are expecting. So I always tell people, please, make sure every opportunity around you is not left behind.
Thank you so much for that. One last question before we go. Can your career be considered as a career option? Is it a lucrative career? Is it a lucrative business?
Oh, wow. Very lucrative.
Thank you for that. I just needed that assurance. Thank you for coming on Career Talk, Mr.
Thank you
Godfrey
for having me.
Abel.
Thank
We
you for
had a
having me.
splendid time discussing the hospitality sector. And I hope you learned another thing about concerning the hospitality sector. It's not just about hotels.
Yeah.
Yes, it has to do with different areas and different specializations. Thank you for watching Career Talk today. We'll be back again next week. My name is Lara Imanos. Keep it glued on Ogun State Television. Bye for now.
Thank you.